next Friday at all. But for some reason, if it does, Texas is another team where talent equates. If it does, then this ought to be celebrated for blowing the doors off the number one team in the country in the Rose Bowl. That should be celebrated. Not to the point of 14 or something like that, but there should be some celebration to it.
At least start putting the pomp on the parade floats.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too early because I just thought about it. Next Friday, you get an opportunity for revenge against the SEC in the Cotton Bowl.
Oh, baby.
Hopefully not similar preparation from last year, but you don't think that's going to be the case.
It's crazy that one of these, whichever teams loses, the next game they'll play will be against the same team. Because we open with Texas here next year. This from John. The subject, confession. The email, Mr. Bishop, I come today in humility, seeking grace from Buckeye Nation. I'm taking full responsibility for Ohio State's losses to Oregon October 12th and Michigan on October 30th, which caused a great deal of heartache to millions. You see, I came across the album Game Day Faves, Ohio State Classics, shortly before the season started, and it got the juices flowing for the season. Fast forward to the game against Oregon, and I decided to get myself and my daughters pumped up for the big game by listening to the album while we played on the swing set. I didn't think much of it, but didn't play the album again for the next 5 games. Feeling good about our prospects against Michigan, I played the album again. Following our loss, I thought surely it was a coincidence. To test the theory, I've conscientiously refrained from playing the album before the college football playoff games, and, well, the results speak for themselves. I'm left to conclude that it's my fault we lost those games. My bad, I'll be better. Well, now we know who to blame, John. I have no point of reference on this. Are you familiar? Either of you guys familiar with Central Ohio Boys?
No.
Game Day Faves, Ohio State Classics?
No.
Is it a CD?
It feels like an album. Probably. Steady diet of Hang On Sloopy and all the rest of it. Buckeye Battle Cry? I don't know.
Years ago, I got the best damn band in the land. They had a CD that you could buy, and I did that. It was a great gift. I don't know what is that.
It might be. I think that there is a, and I heard Joey Galloway talking about this. I want to say I heard Chimdy Checo, maybe read him on social media about it last night too. And when they're starting to say it, I think you ought to listen a little bit. I think that a Buckeye Nation has been healed. I think these 2 wins heal it, right? And there's more good to come. And I do think the notion that Ohio State is going to be playing a road game in the Cotton Bowl, I don't buy that at all. I don't buy it at all. That crowd, to me, on television looked at best 50-50, and if anything, Ohio State, to me, looked like it had an advantage in the crowd. It was on television, so it's hard to tell. You have to talk to somebody in the press box or someone who was there, give you a feel what the breakdown was in terms of Ohio State and Oregon fans. It looked like every seat was sold, which is something I can't say about the other playoff games. I have a sense that there will be quite a bit of scarlet. Scarlet, by the way, Chris, not crimson. Scarlet is the color.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah. Come on, man.
A lot of do-overs I'm sure they'd like to have from last night's broadcast.
Jeez. Come on, Chris. Let's go, buddy. But, yeah, it'll be I think you're going to have a lot of scarlet in Dallas next Friday. It's obviously direct flight, easy to get there. When we were down there for the national championship, there were a ton of Buckeye fans. Now, you're playing Oregon, so they didn't have the fan base that Texas has, and obviously it's a Texas home game, but I don't think it'll be overwhelming. I don't think it's going to be like 80-20 Texas, Ohio State. I think there will be a lot of Buckeyes down there. There's a huge Buckeye alumni group down there. Anywhere in Ohio, you can fly direct to Dallas. It's a hub, obviously, for American. So I think you're going to see a lot of Buckeye fans down there. It's really spread out, but it's a fun place to be. And they do a good job with it. Jerry World is awesome for it. They'll do a lot of fun stuff around it. You're going to get, I would imagine Ohio State would travel down there. Would it be Wednesday or maybe Tuesday? Probably Tuesday. And then you'd have press conferences, arrival press conference Tuesday, press conferences Wednesday, and then probably Thursday coaches press conference, and then play the game Friday is my hunch. I did wonder when they postponed the Sugar Bowl if they would thought about swapping the dates so that the winner of Notre Dame Georgia would. I mean, it's going to be. It's obviously a 2-day difference no matter what, but it's a quick turn for the Georgia Notre Dame winner to play Penn State. Like everything that could go Penn State's way is in this thing, including having an extra 2 days to prepare for a game than whoever their opponent is going to be. Finally, this one from Tony. Hey, guys, is there any chance of Bo and Dom doing an hour-long program on TV radio talking about their history and war stories? It would be a very entertaining program. Thanks, Tony. We'll work on that. I think Dommy's up for it. We'll work on that. I like to do Dom Unleashed at Muirfield. That's really my favorite. So I'm sure he'll visit us again there. And, of course, he's with us every Tuesdays with DeBerry. But, yeah, we'll see what we can do about that and have some more stories. Not all of them are fit for air. Not all of them. All right. Now the question becomes, and I appreciate your emails. The mailbox is always empty, or always full, or rather empty and ready for your emails, and we handle those every single Thursday. The question now is, if Ohio State plays like that, who's beating them? Dan Lanning weighs in on that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's back January 10th through 19th at the Ohio Expo Center. The Ohio RV and Boat Show. Brought to you in part by Park National Bank. RVs, boats, motorcycles, ATVs, golf cars, and more. The Ohio RV and Boat Show at the Ohio Expo Center January 10th through 19th. Get tickets online at OhioRVandBoatShow.com.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
Hey everybody, it's Austin Ward here, and last time this year I was down 43 pounds after just 2 months with Awaken 180. I broke into the new year at my goal of 50 pounds down. It felt great, and it still does. Get the same results at Awaken180weightloss.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text PREP to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text PREP to 42424. That's PREP to 42424.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. In procrastination, it's the thief of time. Do you really want to head into the new year with the same old joint pain, the stuff that's been bothering you all the way through this last year and probably many prior years? Make the decision now to say no. I'm going to get it fixed, and I'm going to get moving again in 2025 with the help from my friends at QC Kinetics. See, they're the leaders in regenerative medicine and joint preservation. They're located right here in Columbus, Ohio, under the leadership of Dr. Ray Tesner, the founder of Grant Sports Medicine and a classically trained orthopedic surgeon. He's going to help you revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics, things like PRP, so you don't have to have surgery. There's no drugs. There's no downtime. It's the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of people already know about it, so don't wait any longer. Go give them a call at 380-208-4544 for your free consultation. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices in Dublin and Gahanna, so they're conveniently located all through Central Ohio.
Jake Diebler's Buckeyes are back at the shot for a Big Ten battle with Michigan State.
Live fan coverage starts Friday night at 7 with the tip at 8.
Your flagship home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Final deadline to enroll is January 15th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Flexible, secure, fun. Oh, and great pay, too. Are you not sure what you want to do for a career? Or are you thinking of changing careers? Being a dental hygienist or dental assistant may be the perfect fit for you and provides all of these perks plus more. Talk with a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org to learn more. Become a valuable member of the dental team and start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Time now to check in on that weather report. Partly cloudy out there today, high 34. Snow showers tonight. Quick dusting to an inch could be possible. Friday, look for cloudy skies with a high of 32. A dry weekend is expected, and then a much larger snowstorm is possible by Monday morning, where we could get several inches of snow. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Here's a listener tweet. Are Men and Bone stupid in real life? Yes. Yes, they are. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan. Our top men are working on everything except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
Well, follow this under the headline of Life Comes at You Fast. A couple of weeks ago, this Buckeye team was playing at home against Tennessee. Most national pundits picked them to lose to the Vols. A couple weeks later, if you watch the talking head shows on ESPN this morning, you have a steady diet of, can anybody beat Ohio State? That's what 2 weeks and those two performances does. It's changed from... Now, the one thing I'll give credit to, and this is why I do think that the best way to determine who is best is probably the guys in Vegas, because Buckeyes favored over Tennessee pretty substantially, if you look back at it. Buckeyes favored over the undefeated number one team in the country. That grew up to 2.5 by the time of kick. And I'm seeing the line right now on Texas at 4.5. But I'm guessing that grows a little bit too. So if you're curious about who the real people think is the best team in the country, pay attention to that. That usually gives you a pretty good gauge on where that stands. To answer the question, if they play this way, can anybody beat them? Yeah, I suppose. You have to think about the teams who have the ability to play at this level. And to me, of the teams that are left playing, Texas can get to this level. I'm not confident, based on what I saw yesterday, that they will, but they can. They have the talent to get to this level. They can run it. They can throw it. Quinn still makes – he made a couple of throws in the game yesterday, one that should have been picked, one that was, and it came down to a fourth down where a guy just – he flipped to the play, and they got a guy running free for a touchdown, and that ended up being the game winner, and that was it. But I do think Texas has the talent to get to this level. They're not playing at this level right now. Georgia certainly has the overall talent. I just don't have any idea what to do with Gunnar Stockton. My issue with Notre Dame is similarly to my issue with I want to see what happens this afternoon with Notre Dame. If the game doesn't go according to script, can Riley Leonard lead? Can he go throw them to a win if he has to? Cole, you've watched all the Notre Dame games. I asked that question. What's the answer?
My answer is no, but here's where my confidence level is that I think this is going to be low scoring either way. So I don't think, even if Notre Dame gets down, I don't think they'll be in a position where they have to start throwing immediately. Because
no, I agree.
If they're down two scores,
I see it the same way.
They're in huge trouble.
Yeah. In terms of getting to a level, what do we make of, what is the real truth on Penn State? They've had 3 straight pretty explosive offensive performances. One of them was against Oregon. Now, that game was closer than to me it ever felt, but they have been pretty dominant in their 2 playoff games against lesser teams. So their path has been very easy, obviously. It's been a very different path it was a very different path for Oregon, Ohio State, and quite honestly, even Texas for the fact that they get to play this Ohio State team in a semifinal. So that's kind of the way this thing shakes out. Dan Lanning saw this Buckeye team up close and personal, obviously, last night. He weighed in on what Ohio State did offensively to his Oregon defense.
Well, I think they were able to find some shot opportunities. They caught us in a couple coverages that gave them the chance to have success. And you can decide, okay, we're going to try to pressure, and that's still going to leave some one-on-ones. They got us in some situational checks, some stuff that was, successful. And they have great players, right? I mean, they have some guys out there that made plays, and you have to give those guys credit.
Here's the quarterback of the Ducks, Heisman finalist Dylan Gabriel, and this was the real difference in the game from last time around. It was the Buckeye defense and what they did. Here's Gabriel on that.
You plan to create explosives, be really good on situational football, and move the chains that way. We just didn't do that on third down, and they had a great plan, like Coach said. If you don't go get the third, then you can't move forward.
I would just say this, and I know there was some conversation nationally around this last night. Like, is this a failed season for Oregon? Hell no. They went 13-0. They won the Big Ten, first year in the league. They went through their schedule undefeated because of how silly this and how haphazardly this college football playoff was put together. There wasn't a whole lot of thought to what the bracket ought to look like. And my guess is next year you'll see a dramatic change in this bracket, and I think you'll probably see the top 4 teams in their rankings receive byes, and everyone else will be seeded 1 through 12. That's what this thing will probably look like. Obviously, Oregon's path would have looked very, very different if you had done that. Just for perspective, if you go to the college football playoff rankings and you play it the exact same way, Arizona State is actually the 12 in that scenario. The byes would have gone to Oregon, Georgia, Texas, and Penn State. Notre Dame would have then hosted Arizona State in that one. Ohio State would have hosted Alabama. Tennessee would have hosted SMU. Indiana would have hosted Boise State. So that's the way that it would have gone. The Oregon Ducks would have then been sitting there in the 8-9 game, getting Indiana or Boise State in the Rose Bowl. You think that's more appealing for a number 1 team? Probably. Is the reality of that. Lanning did weigh in on the difficult path for the Ducks and the bracket. Here were his thoughts.
We had an opportunity. We didn't take advantage of our opportunity. I'm not going to make excuses for our opportunity, right? And ultimately, you got to be great teams to be in position at the end of the year, and we didn't do that. This is the road that we had to travel, and they did it better than us tonight. So no complaints for us for having that opportunity. They just took advantage of it, and we didn't.
He's not going to go anywhere. Neither are they. They're going to be a constant fixture in this. They will be one of the roadblocks that Ohio State is going to have to go through around over the course of the next half decade. Ohio State's not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. I'll be curious to see, from a Big Ten perspective, how does Penn State take full advantage of this run? Will Drew Aller stay in it? Or if they get to a final and he plays well against Notre Dame or Georgia, does Drew Aller change his mind and go pro in a quarterback weak draft? Might be smart to do so. Right now, Milroe is projected as the 3rd quarterback off the board and projected as a first-round pick. You see a lot of people have him in as a first, which is crazy to me. If Aller throws himself in there, he could be a first-round pick as well. So that's something to watch on the Penn State side of things. I think Michigan's not going to go anywhere. And by the way, their win over Alabama, the way their defense played the last 2 weeks, you got to give them full marks, too, and what they did to land their future in Underwood. So in terms of what the Big Ten and the power brokers are going to look like in this league going forward, it'll be Ohio State, it'll be Oregon, it'll be Michigan, it'll be Penn State, but the Ducks aren't going anywhere.